The French monarchy, a symbol of opulence and power, is as famous for its political influence as it is for its scandalous romantic affairs. Throughout history, these affairs have not only captivated the public imagination, but have also played a significant role in shaping the politics and culture of France. From the early days of courtly love to the tumultuous eve of the French Revolution, the romantic escapades of French monarchs have been a subject of both admiration and controversy. During the medieval period, the French monarchy was deeply influenced by the concept of courtly love, a phenomenon that left an indelible mark on the cultural and political landscape of the time. This form of love, often extramarital and characterized by a chivalrous, almost worshipful affection towards a lady, became a staple in royal courts and was extensively celebrated in arts and literature. The early French monarchs, such as Philip II and Louis XIV, though not entirely free from personal scandals, were known for their adherence to the chivalric codes that heavily romanticized courtly love. These monarchs, portrayed in contemporary accounts and later histories, often navigated the complex interplay of romantic liaisons and royal duties. Their courts became centers where the ideals of courtly love were not only practiced, but also evolved into a sophisticated cultural norm, influencing the behaviors and expectations of nobility. Courtly love, in many ways, served as a counterpoint to the traditional dynastic marriages that were arranged purely for political and territorial gains. It introduced a personal human element into the rigid structure of medieval royal life. While these relationships were idealized and often non-physical, they were fraught with emotional intensity and complexity. Furthermore, these early examples of romantic liaisons in the French court set a precedent for later, more scandalous affairs. They demonstrated how love, or the appearance of it, could be a powerful force in the royal court, capable of influencing political alliances, inciting jealousy, and even sparking conflicts. The affair between King Henry II of France and Diane de Poitiers remains one of the most intriguing and influential romances in the annals of French history. Diane, a woman of remarkable beauty and intellect, was 20 years Henry's senior. She initially served as a lady-in-waiting to his wife, Catherine de' Medici, but her relationship with Henry quickly evolved into something much deeper and more complex. Diane de Poitiers was not just a mistress. She was a confidant, advisor, and in many ways a guiding force in Henry's reign. She exercised considerable influence over both domestic and foreign policy matters, often advising the king on crucial state decisions. Her intelligence and political savvy made her an invaluable asset to Henry, who relied heavily on her counsel. Their affair was no clandestine romance. It was public and widely accepted at the court. Henry's affection for Diane was evident in the lavish gifts and titles he bestowed upon her, including the Château de Chenonceau, a symbol of her status and influence. Diane's presence at court was so prominent that she often signed royal documents, a privilege rarely accorded to royal mistresses. However, this relationship was a source of tension and jealousy, particularly for Catherine de' Medici, who found herself sidelined in both her husband's affections and political influence. This rivalry set the stage for various court intrigues and power struggles that would unfold during and after Henry's reign. Diane's influence over the king and her prominent role at court challenged the traditional dynamics and contributed to the complex interplay of personal and political relationships within the French monarchy. The relationship between Henry and Diane also had broader implications for the French court's culture. It epitomized the era's intricate blend of romance, politics, and power. Their affair, characterized by mutual respect and deep affection, stood in stark contrast to the political marriages of convenience that were the norm among royalty and nobility. After Henry's tragic death in a jousting accident in 1559, Diane's influence waned, and she was compelled to retire from court life. Despite this, her legacy endured, both in the form of the magnificent architectural contributions she made to the Château de Chenonceau and in the lasting impact she had on the French monarchy. King Francis I of France, ascending to the throne in 1515, is often remembered for his role as a Renaissance patron and a military leader. However, his reign was equally marked by his numerous romantic escapades, which played a significant role in the cultural and political landscape of his court. His affairs, far from being mere personal indulgences, had substantial implications for the governance and cultural development of his kingdom. Among his most notable mistresses were Anne de Pisseleu de Hailly and Françoise de Foix, women of remarkable intellect and influence. Anne, who became the Duchess of Étampes, was particularly influential. She was not only a companion to the king, but also a political advisor whose opinions were valued in the matters of state. Her influence extended to the arts, where she played a significant role in patronizing and promoting the Renaissance movement in France. She was known for her advocacy of humanist scholars and artists, contributing to the vibrant cultural scene at the French court. Françoise de Foix, another of Francis's mistresses, was celebrated for her beauty and wit. Her relationship with the king, though shorter than Anne's, was marked by a deep affection and had its share of influence in the court's politics and artistic patronage. These relationships, and others like them, were more than mere affairs of the heart. They were strategic alliances that helped Francis I navigate the complex web of European politics. The presence of these powerful women at court also shifted the dynamics of power. They could influence the king's decisions, mediate in political disputes, and even play roles in diplomatic negotiations. Their ability to sway the king's opinions and policies became a vital element of the political machinations of the French court. The reign of Louis XIV, a period characterized by its grandeur and absolutist rule, was also marked by darker undercurrents, as epitomized by the infamous affair of the poisons. This scandal, which surfaced in the late 1670s, was a convoluted web of witchcraft, poisonings, and black magic, and it reached into the highest echelons of Louis's court. The affair began with a series of unexplained deaths among the nobility, leading to rumors of a sinister network of poisoners and sorcerers operating in the shadows. The investigation, which initially targeted a group of lower-class fortune-tellers and alchemists, soon revealed its tendrils, extending deep into the royal court. Several of Louis XIV's courtiers, and even some of his mistresses, were implicated in these nefarious activities. The scandal was so pervasive that a special tribunal, the Chambre Ardente, was established to investigate these crimes of poisoning and witchcraft. Madame de Montespan, one of the king's most influential mistresses, was among those accused of resorting to dark rituals to retain the king's favor. The involvement of such a high-profile figure in the scandal shocked the court and the public alike. The affair of the poisons did not merely unveil a criminal network, but exposed the moral decay and depravity lurking beneath the opulent facade of the Sun King's court. The rumored affair between Marie Antoinette, the last queen of France, and Count Axel von Fersen is perhaps one of the most captivating and controversial aspects of French royal history. Set against the turbulent backdrop of the impending French Revolution, the nature of their relationship has been the subject of much speculation and debate over the centuries. Marie Antoinette, already a divisive figure due to her Austrian origins and lavish lifestyle, found in Fersen a Swedish diplomat, a confidant, and close friend. Their correspondence, filled with intimate and affectionate language, suggests a deep emotional connection, fueling rumors of a romantic involvement. While concrete evidence of a physical affair is elusive, the intensity of their bond is evident in their letters and Fersen's devoted actions, including his involvement in the royal family's failed attempt to escape France during the Revolution. This rumored affair further tarnished Marie Antoinette's reputation, which was already under siege by the public and revolutionary factions. The Queen, already caricatured as a symbol of royal excess and indifference, was now cast as an adulteress and a traitor, engaging in a clandestine relationship with a foreign nobleman. This portrayal played into the revolutionary narrative, painting the monarchy as morally corrupt and out of touch with the hardships of the French people. The scandal surrounding Marie Antoinette and Count von Fersen added to the growing public discontent and was skillfully used by revolutionaries as propaganda against the monarchy. It exacerbated the Queen's unpopularity and further alienated her from the French public. In a time of immense political and social upheaval, their relationship, whether platonic or romantic, became a symbol of the broader issues plaguing the French monarchy: extravagance, disconnection from the common populace, and political intrigue. The outrageous affairs of the French monarchy are not merely titillating tales of romance and scandal. They are integral chapters of France's political and cultural narrative. These liaisons, transcending mere personal indulgence, impacted the governance, public perception, and eventual downfall of one of history's most renowned monarchies.